What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. We got it. We're only 3 minutes late, but we managed to get it done. I'm Grim from WKU Consulting. I hope everybody out there is getting your questions ready. Get your questions together. I'm actually a little bit late because I was watching the Fed meeting. You never know what's going to happen there. So everybody get your questions together and let's get popping and dive right on in to the content. Dang. I just barely realized that there was no sound audio going in there. So let me backtrack. What's up, Brad? Thanks, the buddy professor. He just saved the whole live stream. I was finna just start going in. I was finna just start going in on you guys and having no sound there. So that would have been pretty fun. But anyway, like I said, we've been working out in Oklahoma. Got a big love for the South out there. Did a lot of laboratories out there. Actually grew up in Texas, and let me know, guys. Can you hear me now? It says that my audio is coming through. Okay, sound check sounds good. Thanks, aka Magic. What's up, everybody? Hey, in the chat, let me know where you're hailing from. Where you watching from? We get people from all over the world, and it's always super interesting to me to see how everybody is, where they're coming in from, and kind of what their plans are around the UK or around Asia, in the US, kind of how everybody's kind of feeling out the market there. Very, very interesting to talk to people. I actually got some people, they flew out to see me. They're out in Australia, and they're doing the conversions out there. And so it was just interesting to see kind of how the market was feeling over there in the UK, and kind of what we can expect over there. And apparently they've outlawed Delta 8 over there, so they're actually trying to take and convert CBD into Delta 9, which we helped them out with. And there's still that loophole over there, but it seems like the UK is getting ready to roll through. All right, looks like we got Minneapolis in the house. Enjoy the salad. Man, can't say I do enjoy salad. My wife is always trying to feed me those things, and I just kind of, like, where's the steak at? Michigan, Illinois. Ooh, Illinois. I hear y'all are taking off in a big way over there. I just actually saw some legislation. What did I see in Illinois? I'm trying to remember real quick, but I heard that they actually went ahead. Oh, okay. Yeah, court order. 48 new grow license in Illinois right now. That is super dope. 48 new grow license. I actually have we did a laboratory out there in Illinois with a friend of mine. I'm not going to name his name here just in case he didn't want to be named, but we did a laboratory out there, and it was pretty awesome. Did an ethanol extraction laboratory out there, and what I hear is they're actually going to be partnering with Coca-Cola. Oh, you know what? I will throw that guy a wrench. If you've never heard of Danksy, 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 our buddy out there, he's actually making some of the best carts with some of the best some of the best formulations, beverages and all type of things like that. Super famous dude for coming up with drinks and things like that for nano emulsification products, and that guy's pretty dope. So if you ever get the chance, you could check him out on Instagram, DANKSY Danksy. He does some good things out there. So shout out to my boy out there in Danksy. But yeah, so 48 new craft grow licenses. So that's pretty awesome. That it looks like Illinois is going to start moving out there pretty soon. I really do hope. Illinois is a great place for the cannabis industry, and I think that they can do some big things out there. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Let me know. Let me know. Salad is Minneapolis and Minnesota. Are they taking off out there? I know that they had just recently. They just recently started getting some legislation going as far as cannabis goes. It looks like our growers out there in Illinois they're petitioning the judge right now. He had an order to shut down the entire industry, so that's not cool. But so it looks like they're all petitioning and picketing out there. And guys, let me explain something. No matter what your legislator says, no matter what your legislator wants to do, you can picket them to stop. That is your right as an American citizen. You can totally, those guys are government officials and they're elected for you and to represent the view of the people. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't go out there and vote. They don't petition their senators. They don't go to the, so that's something that I would highly advocate to do, like in Oklahoma, for example, there's a big industry booming there, but nobody is really writing the senators or doing what they got to do to release that moratorium that they've put on new cannabis licenses. Seattle, Brad's out of Seattle. That's right up the road from us. We're down here in Fairview, Oregon. So Seattle's right up the street from me. I ain't gonna lie, Brad, let me know if it's the same. I haven't been up to Seattle in about 2 years, but last time I went into downtown Seattle, it smelled like pee. It smelled like urine. And I was trying to figure out a beautiful, beautiful city, lots of things to do, all type of attractions and things everywhere, but I was like, why does it smell like pee here? I couldn't figure it out. So let me know, was that just was my nose just messed up, or is it always smelling like pee down there in downtown Seattle, or is that a homeless issue, or what's going on there? Looks like we got Michigan in the house. Whew, Detroit. Spent some time in Detroit and Flint, Michigan, when all of the craziness was going down. The guys, they didn't even have clean water out there, and the craziness was going down. So you guys let me know in the I don't want to talk about your state all the time. This is the opportunity to get any of your questions. Any questions that you got, man, I want you to feel like I'm an open book here. Any questions that you got, let us go ahead and know what we can help you out with today. I got a whole hour here with you guys to just answer any question that I can. Looks like our buddy professor is out of Canada. Dude, I'm super jealous of Canada right now, just like the legislation that they made. I mean, they're publicly traded, Tilray, Aurora Cannabis, all of those guys are making huge moves in the industry, and I'm just wondering why on earth are we so far behind? Our counterpartners, Canada, did see that, did show us that there is a way to regulate this and do it correctly. But I'm just waiting for the United States to catch up behind you guys. Enjoy the salad. 5 milligrams per item, 50 milligrams per pack. THC is THC, so we are interested in THCP, but we can put it in all food and drink now, so we are psyched. Yeah, that's what my guy out in Danksy is telling me. That's why he wanted to start that laboratory. They're making beverages, Delta 8 beverages, THCP beverages, all type of stuff like that. So Salad, if you're interested in making that THCP, it's actually pretty easy to do. Now, it is expensive getting those resorcinols, the resorcinol that you're going to be using to basically build your own THC from scratch can get a little iffy, but I actually did a video, if you go and search it in that YouTube channel, how to make THCP. It doesn't have many views on it. I'm pretty surprised because there's a lot of people trying to do it right now. We also got another laboratory that we built out in California. They're making THCP, THCB, THCM, and they're building all of that from scratch. They actually sent it to a few testing laboratories, and because the testing laboratories don't even really have a real control, they were kind of having a hard time. We had to source them a third-party testing laboratory just so they could figure out what they were actually producing in there. So it does happen. But yeah, so that's why, I still think that the industry is super early. And actually, we were hearing about the THCP based on a couple of case studies the way that we can quantify, if you will, the bioavailability, or not the bioavailability, but when somebody says like this is 33 times stronger than delta 9 THC, well, what does that actually mean? Well, the longer the carbon tail on the THC molecule is, the more affinity that it has times a certain amount, the more affinity it has to actually bond to the CB1 and CB2 receptors. So when they say, when you have a 7 carbon, and for a while we used to think that THCP was going to be the strongest cannabinoid out there because of the seven tail carbon. But we have actually discovered a new cannabinoid that we are going to be labeling THCJD for now. THCJD. So THCJD is actually an 8 carbon. So where THCP is supposed to be 33 times stronger than your normal delta 9 THC, researchers are actually suggesting that anatomically the THCJD is going to be about 45 times more potent than your delta 9 THC. So for a while we thought that THCP, but while I do love THCP, man, it just blew the door off. That Propel group blew the door off for researchers to kind of even discover THCB, THCM, what was the other one? THCM, THCE. There's a bunch of different THCs now so pretty interesting stuff. I've watched every video and the THC video 10 times each. Man, I appreciate that, man. That's what you call a loyal viewer, man. I really do appreciate that, man. That's good stuff. Hopefully it did its job. Hopefully it did help you get to that. And if you want, send me an email, man. I'll throw you a bunch of research papers that I'm looking at on the THCJD. It's still kind of a mystery area. I do know of a few extract labs, for instance, and I believe they're out of California. They are manufacturing THCJD right now, but unfortunately, here's the problem that I have, is I have not found an ability to submit the THCJD to a laboratory that has a control for THCJD. And what I mean by that is when you're analyzing something on a mass spectrometer or something like that, then you need some sort of control, like a 99.9% purity, so that way you can balance or kind of gauge the other cannabinoids as you're separating them out. You can gauge those in testing. And so we've had a hard time being able to actually quantify or get a certificate of analysis for our THCJD, because there's not very many laboratories, if any, with an actual control. The other problem that I have over it is we still don't know the scientists that discovered THCJD. It's literally not, and I'm following, because of our degree, we're able to get just about every scientific paper from everywhere that can, and we don't have any published literature on it whatsoever, which is a bit sketch in my personal opinion, because naturally if you did something like discover a new cannabinoid that was not being talked about, the first thing that you would want to do is go ahead and get that publication and get your credit, right? That's what every scientist wants, is get that credit. Oh, you guys are creating a standard for the THCP? Man, that's super dope, man. Super dope. Definitely drop in the comment your analytical laboratory if you've got one, so we can check that out, man. I think that's dope. I definitely could use an analytical laboratory that I could refer some clients to, so maybe I'll be able to get you some business out there. The Buddy Professor says, love your vibe and information. You know your stuff. Man, I really appreciate that, man. I have been doing this for a long time, and humbly speaking, and I probably dedicate 3 to 4 hours every day to research and development alone, because it's super important to me to stay in front of the curve and be able to help other people, like yourself, that really don't have a way to go out and find this information, right? You just Google it and it's just some article that doesn't really tell you anything, or some YouTuber that doesn't really tell you anything. You're really just looking for a bunch of different views, and that stuff aggravates me, bro. I'm like, man, I just wasted like 5, 6, 7, sometimes 30 minutes of my life trying to get to some sort of information. I couldn't find any of it. So that's what the YouTube channel is all about, is to make sure that people like yourself can definitely get that information rapidly. And then be able to stay ahead of the curve. And then also we have our ear to the ground in a in a peculiar way, I guess you could say, because being a consulting company and also a laboratory environment manufacturer, right, we're able to kind of gauge out and feel out a lot of the market before it really hits anywhere else. So like if there's a big contract coming through, like for instance down in Oklahoma right now, we got somebody entering into talks with Walgreens. So that's going to shut that side of the market down. You know, you have somebody like Walgreens, Coca-Cola, you kind of get wind through the grapevine of these various contracts, and you can really kind of see where regulation and legalization is going to go. Because I guarantee, like Walgreens, I think their contract that they offered was going to be something like 37.8 million, which would be probably one of the biggest laboratories ever in the United States, maybe even in the rest of the world as far as processing goes. And that's just to fulfill their order. So you kind of wonder, you're like, you kind of expect that the smart money knows a little bit of something that maybe we are not getting wind of as far as federal regulation goes, because they're not going to invest 37 million bucks into something that they think is just going to be a wormhole, right? And I appreciate that. I'm appreciated. Really, just watching you guys grow, and the thankfulness that I get from this channel is the reason that we do this all the time, right? And we answer tons of information completely for free. I very, very rarely charge anybody that just calls me and asks me some questions. Mostly just answer anything that I can. Not trying to puff myself up, really. I don't think that I'm anything special. I just had a unique opportunity to learn something from this industry, and it was such a blessing to me that now it's my turn to give back, and I love to do it, just to be completely honest about you. Okay, so Joseph says, what do I think of THCV? Well, I like THCV, Joseph. And so that's kind of a question. That's kind of a question that I'm not really sure what you mean as far as smoking it or what. However, the reason that I like THCV the best is because we actually had some really reputable research come out as it refers to treating war veterans with PTSD with THCV. And so now it is pretty much guaranteed that high concentrations of THCV relieve stress, and then research is showing that it can even help to reduce or prevent anxiety and panic attacks. So for PTSD, and I got a lot of friends that went to war. They went to the Iraq War, Desert Storm 1 and 2, Operation Iraqi Freedom. And, so they were all in the Marine Corps. And a lot of these people, they came back pretty messed up, man. And it's really hard to deal with normal life after coming back here. And so the first thing that, the government wants to do, or Big Pharma wants to do, is just like lace you up with a bunch of these chemical dependencies to where you're like relying on this pill or this shot. And then, eventually that stops working because you build up a tolerance to it, and then guess where you're going next? That's right, you're going to the hard drugs. So you see many guys that literally like jumped out of a Humvee, kicked in doors to help free these Iraqi people, and then they get back to the States and you end up finding them on the side of the road somewhere as a heroin junkie, because there's really no ethical medicinal process to reincorporate them into society. So THCV, and also, man, I'm not a hallucinogen channel. Like, I don't really talk about mushrooms or anything like that, and I'm really against putting anything that supremely alters your state of mind. I like to be sober most of the time. But what I did find was that in even small doses and micro dosing, what they were using with psilocybin and THCV, they were actually able to rehabilitate. And we only have one instance, but he was a sniper, and I think he had like 26 confirmed kills or 25 confirmed kills or something like that. So super like devastating, right? Like through a scope glass, he literally saw these people lose their brain matter into the so it's got to be super scarring. And I know that he lost a few people, and he just really was having a hard time coming back from it all, and using microdoses of psilocybin in conjunction with THCV really helped him rehabilitate into society. Now, I still think he's trying to find a job and all that other stuff, but I mean, that's just amazing to have somebody that is literally built, they've had almost $1 million United States taxpayer dollars invested into them to make them one of the most effective killing machines on the planet, and then just to come back and really just not even be able to find a job and end up in the curb somewhere. So that's why I like THCV the best. Now, as far as customers smoking it, I don't really get too much rave or rant about the THCV and the high that it has. And like Joseph said, I also get a lot of reports back about it really burning the throat. And I'm still looking into the root cause for why that is actually happening, the harshness of that THCV. Now, a lot of that could have been the terpenoids that they used, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So a lot of the times when you find that's why anybody that's doing any type of vape pens or anything like that, we always recommend a 3 to 5%. 5% being the high end, and even lower is pretty much always better of terpenoids that you're adding to your distillate when you're making a vape pen, because too much terpenoids or too many terpenes in your distillate is always going to give you kind of that harsh, throaty vibe. So I can't really pinpoint or signify if it was actually the THCV that was hurting some of my clients' throats, or if it was the terpenoids that were being added to it. And so, like I said, we don't manufacture or sell any products anymore. So there you go. Heavy hitters cart. Your brother also has PTSD. I heard they are also doing studies on CBG to help treat PTSD. I hope we can find a good medicine for those in need. Like straight up, dude, we can grow a good medicine right now, like right now. And that is the most frustrating part of the cannabis industry, and that's really the reason that I've done what I can do to kind of pioneer and help kind of blow the doors off of this information concept, is because I do not understand why Big Pharma is not putting more money into the cure instead of a medication. So I'm really against the way that Big Pharma kind of uses that medical problem to kind of usher them through the door, and then they just medicate them and they get them strung out on different substances, because it's not even a question at this point. Back in the 70s and in the 80s, I guess it was some sort of question on whether these really had any medical efficacy whatsoever. But if you watched the stream yesterday where I did the news, I mean, dude, they're basically finding with 100% using like a 1-to-1 CBD and THC delta 9 ratio is killing cancer cells, right? Using heavy CBD, CBC, and CBN is actually bringing your body into an alkaline state. And we all know that, cancer cells, they can only exist in an acidic environment, period. So you bring them into an alkaline state and you kill them. So that's just returning your body to its natural homeostasis. And you start to see that everything that we ingest, everything that we eat, everything that we drink, if you put that on the pH, you're always going to have like an extreme acidic environment. And so we're wondering why cancer growth is blowing through the roof, so there you go. So I mean, it's frustrating to me. While there's a real cure, there's literally 251 known cannabinoids in the cannabis plant, and every single one that we break apart and spend some millions of dollars researching and developing, and having people like Harvard and these other people, scientific institutions pick these up and research them, you're finding medical benefits on every single one, bro. It's insane. Every single one is having some sort of medical benefits or another. And it's like, why is there not more research and development being poured in? Pour in that money and let's heal some people. Now, I do think that Big Pharma is kind of like, well, we might lose our money. And this is not a YouTube channel to try to go to war with Big Pharma. This is a personal vendetta that I have against those people, and that's what I'm in the job for. That's what I'm in the cannabis industry for, is to bring people out of the opioid crisis and into a more holistic approach, because many of these cannabinoids can solve real world problems. THCV, so THC on an HH cart, that's a 3-to-1. Yeah, I think that'll help. Dang, your son did 2 tours in Iraq. Man, thank you. Tell your son we said thank you for his service. We got a big respect for veterans around here, and actually on any consulting services that we offer, and this happens a lot. We give a 10% discount to all veterans. You might seem like, well, that's not a lot of money, but when your laboratory costs $1.5 million, that's approximately $150,000 that you're going to save just by serving your country. And I know that's a small price to pay for being willing to risk your life, but man, we have a high love for that. Yeah, Delta 8 allowed him to sleep when nothing else had helped. Dude, that's what I'm talking about. Like, people were so smashing Delta 8, and like still to this day, they're like mega smashing Delta 8. Like, why are you still converting Delta 8? Like, it's super hard to find Delta 8 as it exists in enough concentration, in the cannabis plant. But like, dude, Delta 8 is killing cancer straight up. Delta 8 is helping improve sleep. So, people are like, this, you guys are just trying to get high and this and this and that. And it's like, yeah, but actually, if you break it down, the Delta 8 has an incredible medicinal benefit. It has an incredible medicinal benefit. And like, am I a purist myself? Well, yeah, man, I smoked marijuana for the better part of 20 years, so it's like, yeah, I completely understand the efficacy of Delta 9 THC, but there are sometimes when you just want to medicate and maybe you want a slight psychoactive high. The single mom, for example, that still has to go to work and doesn't want to take a 99.9% dab and straight up is going to put her to sleep, right? She wants to be able to function. She wants to be able to function. And so that's where Delta 8 really plays a role in the market. And because everybody tried to do it, you're going to see the market kind of shake out a little bit. But I promise you, Delta 8 is not going anywhere. Delta 8's not going anywhere. For all the people that think that Delta 8 is just a passing fad and it's just going to, get rid of it as soon as everything is recreational, you're going to see some market shake out. But watch, as the years go by and you see the efficacy of Delta 8 for medicinal purposes and the psychoactive high, and some people, they do say that they do feel actually better than with Delta 9 THC, but Delta 8 THC, in my personal opinion, from market research, it's not going to give you that landlocked high, like couch locked high, like I'm going straight to sleep high, right? You're going to be able to deal with that high, that psychosis, a little bit better psychosis, those psychoactive properties a little bit better. So there you go. Some people like Delta 8. Actually, no, the reason I said single moms is because I know a lot of single moms that, first off, they don't want to smell like weed, so they don't want to smoke a joint before they go into work or something like that. And second of all, they want to be able to function throughout their day, right? These are business women, lawyers, doctors, CEOs, and these are people that have children at home, right? Maybe you have a couple of toddlers at home and you have to watch over them, and you can't just be so high that you're completely dead to everything that is happening in your family, or the child that maybe is messing with things and could be in a dangerous situation. So they use the Delta 8 because it gives them that calming psychoactive effect, but it doesn't put them out, right? So it's kind of like the same way, there's people that smash a whole bottle of wine and then there's people that have a glass of wine. Are both of them cool? I mean, yeah, sure. If you wanted to just smash a whole bottle of wine and just walk around kind of drunk, yeah, I mean, that's great. Sometimes there is a place for that. But other times you just want to have a glass of wine to kind of take the edge off. And I do understand that. Seriously, I do. And that's why I think Delta 8 really makes a big mark. Yeah, I hate opioids too, man. It's crap. Is it possible for Big Pharma to remove all the things that cause withdrawal and more extreme pain so people can take pain medicine without being dependent to it? Is it possible, aka you bet your bottom dollar? It is absolutely possible. Is that a feasible solution? Knowing that no, that's not a feasible solution. And I'm finna tell you why. Because a lot of people, it went unheard of. Like, they're reporting everything on the news, but one of the things that they did not report is that actually Big Pharma, or opioid production companies, were actually giving doctors bonuses. So we're talking about a cash bonus to sit there and write you a prescription for an opioid, even though there might be another prescription available that is better for what you get. So this is where, before you go to a doctor, now, do I believe in doctors? That's a hard question to answer. I believe in the Lord, and I think all of my healing comes from Him. Now, am I totally against doctors altogether? No. But will I definitely do all of my research on maybe the problem that I'm experiencing before I go to the doctor, and he just starts to prescribe me something? Yes. Do I need to walk out of there and just take my prescription or whatever he gives me? No, because I'm telling you that these doctors, there's actually been a huge lawsuit because these doctors were accepting money to write patients opioid prescriptions or barbiturate prescriptions. So what that means is that just kind of gives you an effect to where now you become chemically dependent on this said prescription. And what does that mean for the company that is providing the prescription? Well, that means more capital revenue. Now, I think it is one of the most inherently evil things that you can do to profit off of people's pain. Now, you might say, well, Grim, you're a consultant. Isn't that what you're doing, is profiting over people's pain? I'm offering people solutions. You see the difference there? I never preach fear. I never say that you've got to hire our company due to fear or something bad's going to happen to you. No, I always try to give you a solution, but it's not a constant medicating solution where you always have to come back for me. If you've got to call me more than one time to fix your problem, then I feel like I have not done my job. At the end of the day, what we want to do is provide a solution that fixes it permanently, and you never have to talk to me again. Will that first initial solution cost you a little bit of money? Well, yeah, because there's a little bit of money that goes into it to make it happen. But after that, should your problem be solved? Yes. So the same way with these medicinal marijuana growers and people that offer these pharmaceutical drugs, quote unquote. I mean, they're not technically pharmaceutical yet, but we are looking for some sort of, legislation to come out and regulate them as such. We really would appreciate that, actually. So should those marijuana companies give all of their product away for free? No, I don't think that that's a solution that's even possible, because it takes so much money and investment to go into producing the product in the first place. Do I think that they should get paid for their product? Yes, I absolutely do. But do I also think that that product should in fact be able to solve the problem at hand? Yes, I do. Now, profiting over people being dependent on things, I think is a deep inherent evil that, you know, I just never expected that we as a human race could ever come into contact with. But however, you know, we have been, you know, not good, not good, not good, not good, not good, not good. But so, is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Will it ever happen? Heck no. Is there a way for a small time extract artist to get the financial backing they need to actually start a laboratory? Should I be trying to leave Cali to start a laboratory? You know what? I am super excited that you just asked me this question. Super excited that you just asked me this question. Now, there's a couple of different solutions for you. There's a couple of different solutions for you, Joseph. Number one, if you're asking, should you get out of California? I'm going to give you a biased opinion. Yeah, I think that you should get out of California, especially if you want to be a small time extraction artist. Now, if you already had a bunch of skills necessary and a big laboratory that you were working for in California, should you stay there? Yes, I would assume that. But if you're looking to get in somewhere, what I would do is, I would roll into somewhere that is just recently pioneering the industry. It looks like I'm having some buffering problems. Man, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's YouTube's fault. If I could show you the live stream over here, like we're crushing it. I'm having no stream issues whatsoever, but apparently YouTube is having a hard time keeping up. And I do not understand why. Probably because of the volume. It's like, what is going to happen when we have thousands of people? So anyway, a small time extract artist to get the financial backing. Yes, what you could be looking for is something that's called an angel investor. Now, these guys are just basically big money, smart money, stock market guys, and all they're looking to do is invest in a company so that they can have an ROI, or a return on investment. When they get that ROI, they don't even care. They don't want any part of your business. They just want to make sure that if they put in $1 million, they're going to get $3 million back, right? Or something like that. So that is an ethical solution for you. If you wanted to, one of the ways that I helped clients get some monetary funding before is I would get people sort of solution, right? So there is that. Now, the next thing that you can do is you can go and you can pitch to your own investor group or whatever. You can pitch them the solution, like, look, if you get a certain amount of pitch together, then we can show them that if we get a certain, sorry, I'm paying attention to live stream too, that we can show them that if we make a certain amount of money, that we can guarantee our return on investment in 3 months time. Look, most of the time, any laboratory that we build for people, their return on investment is like a 90-day, which is unheard of. So that's just basically what you'd be looking to pitch to them. So is there a way for a small time extraction artist to get the financial backing? Yes, there absolutely is. Now, the Fair Banking Act is being passed as we speak. I'm telling you that if you've got good credit and you've got a good relationship with your bank or credit union, I can guarantee that eventually they're going to start offering loans for small business owners to be able to pick up with getting your financial backing. You definitely can. Also, okay, here's another idea. Here's another idea. Now, you obviously have extraction expertise. I can tell because you said you're a small-time extractor. But that means that you have extraction expertise. So what you're going to be looking at is to always stay up to date with the cannabis laws and regulations and see what is the new company that is, or what's the new state that is kind of pioneering or getting ready to unfold recreational marijuana, right? And at that point, you get on Indeed.com, build your resume, and just start spamming it to everybody that posts any type of anything about cannabis technician. And then that way, I guarantee you, actually, the very first laboratory that I ever built as a consultant, I did it using this method. So these people were looking for a technician to help move them to, you'll be able to find that there. Well, looks like my stream is breaking down, and I don't know what the problem is. Maybe it's YouTube's problem, but here we go. it was amazing to get to talk to you guys. It looks like we're about 40 minutes in anyway, so I think that's a good place to go ahead and call it stops. If you get a chance to tune into the live stream, this is the last one. This is the last one that we're going to be doing for all people. So the rest of these will be for subscribers only, and then we're going to start our giveaway program. So it's going to be super dope, man. I'm telling you, super, super dope. Got a wide range of things that we're going to be giving away. So probably pick one. Let's say every month, probably picks a random subscriber or a random commenter that comes in and comments on the live stream. So to qualify, all you want to do is be subscribed and then comment on the live stream with a question or even just a hello, and that way we will be able to put you into that drawing for that giveaway. And man, you already know my tagline. It has been a blessing, a privilege, nay, an honor to be able to consult and teach with you guys today. See you in the next video. Peace out.